So hi everyone, my name is Rolly Pemberton, aka Cadence Weapon, and we're here with the multi-platinum producer who needs no introduction, but I'll do it anyway. His name is Mike WiLL Made It.
What up, what up, what up, what up?
So I really just wanted to start at the very beginning and give people an idea of where you're coming from. You're originally from Marietta, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about Marietta. It's like a suburb, 20 minutes outside of Atlanta, right?
Yeah. It's like middle class, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, 20 minutes outside of Atlanta, suburb. We never really had anybody successful out of the music side come out of there, you know what I'm saying? Couple people in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? And that's really about it.
Who's that?
My boy JJ Hickson, Sharif Abdul Rahim.
Who played for Vancouver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else comes from area that went to the NBA? That's all I really know for real. You know what I'm saying?
So not a lot of music came out of there.
No.
How did you hear rap in the first place?
Man, I think my first time hearing rap, my older sisters were really like my musical sources. So like one of my sisters would listen to like a lot of rap music, but she was like in band class, like in high school, like she was like a drum major. So when the Olympics came to Atlanta in '96, like she was a drum major in the Olympics. And then that's my older sister, but she listened to like all the rap music. Like she had all the Goody Mob, all the like everything mystical, you know what I'm saying? Like everything back in the day. And then my other sister, she was like the opposite. She would just listen to all pop. So she would listen to like Alanis Morissette or either like R&B, you know what I'm saying? Like Tony Braxton, you know what I'm saying? Whitney Houston. And it was just like she was more melody driven and this sister was more like rhythm driven, you know what I'm saying? And I was just listening to it. So like I was more when I started getting into music, I started getting into like Tupac first, then, you know what I'm saying, then Biggie. And then like it was like really like West Coast rap, like West Side Connection, Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying, different stuff like that, like real hardcore stuff. And then like of course I liked everything from the South. And then I started like like really started getting into rap. And then like 3-6 Mafia, you know what I'm saying, Cash Money, UGK, everybody from the South, like I was just, you know what I'm saying, listening to Trick Daddy, Pastor Troy, you know what I'm saying, everybody.
What about from Atlanta?
Yeah, I was like Pastor Troy, and then T.I. started like killing shit, you know what I'm saying, like Outkast. I already mentioned that my sister was listening to like Goody Mob, Dungeon Family, Outkast, so Outkast was like a given. And then from Atlanta, it was just like, man, T.I. was like my favorite rapper. Like everything T.I. was saying was law. So that's just everything I would listen to. And then it was like Jeezy. Then after that, you know what I'm saying, Gucci. Then I met Gucci, and then me and Gucci started going in, and it was just like.
Well, we're going to get to that really deep, but I want to take it back a little bit still.
All right, for sure.
So you grew up in a pretty musical household, right? Your parents were musical, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. My mom, she sang in the choir with Dottie Peoples, so. Like, we would be on the road a lot, you know what I'm saying? And they would be doing, like, shows. And Dottie Peoples is, like, a big gospel singer, for those who don't know. And so, like, I would see that when I was, like, super young. And then my dad, like, he used to, like, DJ little parties and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And, like, so he had all the records in the house. So we had, like, this record player, and then he would like, buy a new needle. And you know what I'm saying, I would just see him like scratching and like playing records. So every time he would dip, I would just grab a record, put it on there, and try to scratch, and I'll break the needle every time, and then try to go high. You know what I'm saying? And then he'll be like, "Yo, how'd my needle get broke?" I'm like, "Yo, I don't know. I was just about to play it." You know what I'm saying? Word. But yeah. So I would always like break his needles. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought it was just easy. I thought you could just put a record on here and it was just real easy. But I found out that it wasn't.
What kind of records was he playing?
His favorite band was Earth, Wind, and Fire. So I grew up like on Earth, Wind, and Fire, like all the oldies, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, Michael Jackson, the OJs. Man, my pops used to put me on everything, sliding the Rolling Stones. Like, man, like he used to put me on everything, like just all the old music, Rick James, you name it.
So you had this foundation for music in your home, but you wanted to be an athlete.
Yeah, yeah. Cause off the rip, like my sister, she played softball. So like I started off first. I started playing t-ball, then I started playing basketball, then I started playing football like towards like 5th grade. You know what I'm saying? And then I was just playing all 3 sports. And then it was this kid. I remember I was playing football. I was really into football, and they had me at linebacker because I just liked to hit. So it was this kid. He was bigger than everybody. He was really like 2-3 years older than us. And like, man, he just ran, like he was running, and I was like, yo, I'm about to make this hit. And he just trucked me. But I made the tackle. I was happy I made the tackle, but I couldn't move. You know what I'm saying? I had like a stinger in my back. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, if you move, you're going to get paralyzed or whatever. You just stay still. So I was like, okay, fuck football. You know what I'm saying? and then like baseball, I was like, I was good at baseball. I was playing baseball my whole life. My sister played baseball and everything. But then, like, it was always like t-ball, and then there was always like the machine that would pitch first. So then when like the kids started pitching, I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be the same thing. Then I got hit with a pitch, like real hard in my back. You know what I'm saying? And it hurt for like weeks. So I was like, fuck baseball. You know what I'm saying? And then like basketball. I played basketball my whole life from like kindergarten on. So I just felt like I was like good at basketball. You know what I'm saying? I had a shot and everything. And then I went to this new high school, and this is like around 9th grade is when I started doing like, we had like a group, like a local group, and like we started doing music. So we kind of had our little clique, and we're like clique tight. And the coach told us, I had just pulled my groin like AAU. You know what I'm saying? So then, like, I started trying out for the high school team. And I'm going through all this conditioning, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and everything. And he tells us during conditioning, like, I'm not picking off the skill of the player. I'm picking off the person. So if you're bad in school, you're not gonna make the team, da-da-da. So the guys I was hanging with, you know what I'm saying, they weren't the best, you know what I'm saying? They weren't the best of guys. We were, like, doing music or whatnot. So I got cut from the 9th grade team. And that's my first time ever getting cut. So I said, fuck basketball. And I just focused on music.
So you, at that point, you ran out of sports to play? Pretty much?
Yeah, it was like sports weren't really the thing anymore.
There's no hockey over there?
No.
And then you focus more on music at this time?
Yeah, definitely, man.
So,
focus on music.
So what made you first start making beats to begin with?
Man, really, it was my homeboy Fortune. Like, he used to always, like, just freestyle and rap and all that kind of stuff. So, like, he would battle different people at the school, and then I would just love to hear him rap. So I used to just be making beats on the table. You know what I'm saying? Boom. With like the little pencil or whatever, and you know what I'm saying? Then he'll just be going crazy, like in the lunchroom. Then he'll battle anybody, and we'll just be having the school going crazy. And then me and him were like yin and yang. So we just stuck together. So then my sister, like, she was a drum major, so she played the clarinet too. So she had this little small like Casio keyboard in the house, and then like the batteries were falling out the back or whatever. And it was like that big. It was like it could fit on my lap or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And so like I would hear certain things on the radio, and I would just go find the key, and then I'll just like play that, you know what I'm saying? Play it on the radio. Play it on the keyboard, like that Big Timer song that gave the booze with the pimped up. Yeah. So I was just playing that, and then I was playing like, man, just different things on the keyboard, and then fortunate to just be freestyling right there, just freestyling. And then he told me like, man, bro, you need to make beats, man. Like, you ain't never thought about making beats. You need to start making beats. I'm a rap. You need to make beats. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm going to the NBA, bro. Like, I'm finna, you know what I'm saying? I'm dead for real. I'm finna go to the league. And then he was like, nah, I'm telling you, you should make beats. So another friend of the family, he was a DJ. So he took me to like the music store around the way. It would have been like Guitar Center now, but
Mars Music?
Yeah, it's called Mars Music. It would have been like Guitar Center now, but like we went there, and then I'm asking the guy who works there. I'm like, yo, he showed me the MP, And I'm like, yo, how do I work this? And then he just showed me how to record, and then he made it loop. I'm like, all right, bet. So I was like, okay, if I don't like something, how do I delete it? He was like, man, just hit undo. Woo. I'm like, all right, bet. So then, you know what I'm saying, I was in there messing around, and then I took that melody from Fabulous, that do 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 do.
Holla back, young and woo woo.
Yeah, I took that melody, and then I just made like a no limit beat around it. You know what I'm saying? With the snare rolls, like whatever drums they had programmed in the MP, I just, you know what I'm saying? And then like they were like, "Yo, how long you been making beats?" I was like, "Yo, this my first beat, like my first real beat." And they were like, "Man, you should start making beats." And that was my second time hearing it, so I told my pops, I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna start making beats, man." Woo. And he was like, "Man." He was like, nah. He was like, man, you keep quitting everything. You quit baseball, you quit football. You know what I'm saying? You talking about quitting basketball, now you trying to make beats. Like, nah. And I was like, man, I'm telling you, I need to start making beats. And then he just surprised me with a beat machine like that Christmas. And then from there, I just taught myself how to make beats.
How excited were you when you? What machine was it?
It was like a Korg ES-1. It was like a small little beat machine, and it had 4 lights on there. And you know what I'm saying? I never knew what the 4 lights meant because it was like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it was like 1, and then 2 claps would go. Then it'd be like 2, and 2 claps would go. And then that's when I started teaching myself about bars. You know what I'm saying? Nobody taught me how to count bars. I was just watching like hip hop DVDs and everybody saying like, yeah, man, I just spit a hot 16, a hot 12, you know what I'm saying, 24, da-da-da. And everything was like, the common denominator was 4. At the end of the day, my dad made sure I paid attention in school, so I was good at math. So I was like, the common denominator is 4. This thing has 4 lights. So I was like, yeah, okay. This is 16, you know what I'm saying? This is a 12, this is 8. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I started teaching myself like that, and I was like, I'm like, okay, boom, this is bars. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking I'm teaching my homeboys, like, man, look, bro, you got to put at least 4 bars in the whatever. Like, if it's the hook got to be 4 to 8 bars or 12 bars. Like, however you do it, but it got to be with 4s. You know what I'm saying? And I just taught myself how to do that, and then I just started putting my whole drum patterns together. And one of like the people that I looked up to, he had like this big Tahoe truck sitting on like 26s with like 415s in the back and shit. So like I used to just make beats to go play in his car, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, hey bro, let's ride to Kroger right quick. Like that was like the grocery store around the corner. I was like, let's ride to Kroger right quick. And I put my new beat in, and she just whamming, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just whamming. So like I never forget those days. So like when I'm making beats from then on, or when I'm mixing something or anything, I'm thinking about that Tahoe truck. Like, yo, how would it sound with me and Bezo just, you know what I'm saying, riding down the street, throwing this in with them 415s on them 26s and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I never want to forget that. And I don't know, it all played an important role.
So you're starting to make some beats here.
Yeah.
You know, they're playing in the Tahoe.
Yeah.
But when was the first time you made a beat and someone actually rapped on it?
Oh no, we had a group. It was called FAY. We had a group. It was like a local group, and we were in Cobb, like we were in Marietta, and we were going to like all the local high school parties, and then like man, we were just like we had like the buzz, and like rest in peace to Shawty Low, but like Shawty Low and like the Franchise Boys, they were from Bankhead, so that's like right next to Marietta. You know what I'm saying? So they used to come to Marietta and like perform in Marietta too. So like they would come to Marietta, and then like we would pay to perform. Even though we had like a crazy buzz in Marietta and Cobb, like the DJs were kind of hating on us, you know what I'm saying? For like whatever personal reasons, you know what I'm saying? So we would go to them and just give them $100, $200, like, man, can we perform? We'll put all our money together, and then we'll have like a crazy buzz, you know what I'm saying? We just started getting like a crazy buzz. And like, so my homeboys were rapping on the records first. And then one of my homeboys like was always like in and out of jail. So when he would go in and out of jail, I would fuck around and rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And we were just messing around, but the group ended up not working out. You know what I'm saying? How we wanted it to work out, because it was like we had a buzz on our side of town, but we couldn't get that buzz to like seep to the city or like, you know what I'm saying, go where we wanted it to go. So, you know what I'm saying, this guy quit rapping, this guy, you know what I'm saying, these two guys were over here, and then boom, I was just like, man, I'm gonna keep making beats. And then
something amazing happened.
Oh yeah.
And I have a song to play to represent this. So you've made some beats.
But before that, before you play that song,
Okay.
I made some beats, and then one of the guys I was in my group linked me with his homeboy that worked at a studio called Patchwork. Then I went down there and I was just playing beats for him. I just brought my whole multi-track recorder. I had bought this multi-track recorder. That was my Pro Tools at the time. I didn't even know what Pro Tools was. So I was just recording everything on a multi-track recorder, which was incorrect. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to put guitar amps and stuff over my whole beats. So all my beats were sounding fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know. I was just trying to figure out how to drive the bass the most, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, like I was recording everything in there, so I brought my whole multi-track recorder to Patchwork, was playing beats for Blaze, playing beats, and then he told me, like, yo, man, Gucci Man's upstairs, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, for real? And I was already listening to his mixtapes, so I was like, all right. I'm like, man, you keep listening to these beats right quick. I'm gonna take this beat CD upstairs. He was like, man, yeah, go up there. So I was like, all right, bet. So I made a beat CD, went upstairs, and I was just standing outside the studio. Then Gucci was just walking out. He walked out and went to the lounge, and I gave him a beat CD, like, hey, bro, I made beats. He was like, all right, bet, I'm gonna check them out. Then he went straight to the lounge and put them in the CD player and then started playing them. And then I remember Fabo had left his charger at the studio. You know what I'm saying?
From D4L.
Yeah. So he had went in the same lounge Gucci was in because he had just left his charger, and he had went in there, and then him and Gucci was just freestyling on all my beats, and I was just like, damn. They was in the lounge. I was just like, man, I want to go in there, but I don't know these dudes like that, so I'm just gonna stay out here. You know what I'm saying? and then I was just standing outside. I'm just hearing them, and you know, Fabo loud, so Fabo was just like, oh, like, just screaming. You know what I'm saying? And they all in there freestyling. I'm like, damn. So I'm just standing outside, and then next thing you know, like Gucci came out. Fabo left, and I'm still standing out there. Then Gucci came out. Then Gucci was like, yo, ain't you the little homie that had the beats? And I was like, yeah. He was like, come here right quick. And then he let me hear the song. He had wrote like a quick song to one of the beats, you know what I'm saying? He had wrote a song, but we never ended up using that song, but he was trying to buy the beat on the spot and everything. And from there we just clicked up, and then we exchanged numbers, and then we clicked up, and then we fell out of contact, and then me and Walker met on a whole nother note, and then he linked us back up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know Walker was related to him.
They're cousins, right?
Yeah. But basically, we're like, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody's like fam, you know what I'm saying? They're not real blood cousins, but it's like pretty much, you know what I'm saying? Like pretty much like cousins, yeah. So I didn't even know that they were related, but me and Walker met on a whole nother note, and then he let me know, like, yo, Gucci my cousin, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know Gucci. I was like, man, I know Gucci, and I showed him my phone. I showed him the numbers I had on Gucci. He was like, oh, you really do know Gucci. He was like, where you met him at? I said, Patchwork. He was like, oh, okay. Then we stayed in contact, and then he linked me and Gucci back up. And at that time, me and Walker were like, we became real close friends. Like, and like, I was sleeping on his mama couch. He was sleeping on my mama couch, and we were just with each other every day. This before he was Walker Flocka the rapper. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was just Walker. Like, you know what I'm saying? This dude with the dreads that just believed in me as a producer. Like, he didn't even hear one beat, but he was telling his mom, which is Aunt Deb, who was managing Gucci, like, he was telling his mom, like, yo, man, this man Mike Will is the hardest producer ever, but he never heard a snare. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, man, yo, I appreciate that. And we just became real tight. And then he linked me back with Gucci, and then...
So why did he do that?
I have no clue. But
like, changed your life.
Man, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. But it was like, I guess because he saw that I really knew Gucci, and the way that we met, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way that we met, after we overcame that, it was like, the respect was mutual. You know what I'm saying? So he had another level of respect for me. I had a respect level for him. And then from there, he was just like, we were just chopping it up on the phone. It was just organic. You know what I'm saying? Because the way we met, it could have went a whole nother way. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it was just like, I feel like, man, God writes everything, man. So we just walk. I'm just walking in his footsteps. I'm just walking in his shadow. I'm just going.
So Waka Flocka Flame links you back up with Gucci, and he proceeds to record a bunch of tracks to the beat CD that you gave him.
No, not that beat CD.
A different one.
Yeah, this was like a year later because he had got locked up, and then so Walker had linked us back up, and then when he was like, hey I got somebody. He called me. He was like, hey, I got somebody want to talk to you right quick. Boom, put Gucci on the phone. Gucci like, oh man, hey man, I'm happy you linked up with my cousin, man. Hey, I need some of them beats, man. Ooh, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So then he called me from Walker's phone. He called me from Walker's phone like a couple days later. I thought it was Walker. And he had called me like early in the morning. And he was like, yo, meet me at Patchwork at 3 o'clock. I was like, all right, bet. Woke up, jumped out of bed. Boom, just making beats. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm with my homeboy. I'm like, man, I know he'll go crazy with this. I was just making the hardest beats, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, I went downtown, went to Patchwork. I was there on time. And then he was like, man, you got some beats? I'm like, hell yeah. Played them in the lounge, and the beat was beating way too hard. Like I remember in Patchwork is a speaker that has like, you know how like the speakers have like the cover on it. Like if something's beating too hard, the cover just fall off the thing. And I remember this shit just fell off. I'm like, hell yeah! I used to love fucking. I used to love fucking equipment up. You know what I'm saying? At the studio, I was like, man, hell yeah! And then Gucci was like, man, you hard, bro. He was like, man, let's go to the studio. Then we went to the studio. And I was just playing beats, and then from there he just was just rapping on all my beats. And in 3 days we did 20 songs, and that's how we came with like no pad, no pencil, you know what I'm saying, and all that kind of stuff.
So I'd like to play a song from No Pad, No Pencil,
All right.
and I think it's very notable for another reason, and you'll see in a second. So this song is Star Status Freestyle by Gucci Mane.
Superstar Jake.
So you make No Pad, No Pencil.
That song right there was actually on the mixtape that dropped. Like this one, Gucci started going mixtape.
Oh
crazy.
yeah, and that was on Guapaholics.
Yeah, this was on
With,
Guapaholics.
Shorty Low.
Yep, you know what I'm saying. But we did that song at the same time as we did all the songs on No Pad, No Pencil. So it was the same time. You know what I'm saying. But we just didn't put it on. We ended up not putting it on No Pad, No Pencil. But that song right there, that's where Mike Will Made It came from.
Yes, exactly. If you listen, Mike Will Made It, Gucci Mane slayed it.
Yeah.
What was it like when you first heard that?
Man, I was sitting right there in the studio with him, and I'm telling you how that whole day went. I came to the studio, I played some beats. He got on the first beat. He said, "Hey man, let's go to the lounge and let's listen to it right quick, man." And then boom, you know what I'm saying? He'll go in there, smoke like 5 blunts. We'll listen to what he just did. He just freestyled on one beat. Boom, we'll listen to what he just did. And you're like, man, hey, pull up the next Mike Will. Boom. By the time he finished the last blunt, boom, he's back in there. He don't even want to hear the beat. He goes straight in, freestyle on the next one. Hey, let's go listen to it right quick. Then boom, same thing. We were doing that shit all day. And then like it's like all through the intro, like if you hear underneath, like on that song, if you hear underneath what the DJ was saying, like he shot me out all through the intro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the room. I'm only like 17, 18 at the time. So I'm just like, damn. Like this man Gucci just in here just shot me out, bro. Like, Mike Will on this beat right there, buddy. Straight celebrity, baby. I shot him out every time. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he come in his verse. And then like in his verse he say, Mike Will made it, Gucci Mane slayed it. Star Status nigga, everybody upgraded. I'm like, damn, bro, this man just shot me out. That's hard. So I never knew what we were gonna do with any of these songs. I was just riding around. Me and my homeboys, this was our theme music that we were riding around too, but I never knew that it was gonna come out. So then when it came out on Guapaholics mixtape, after that, everybody in the streets was just running up to me like, yo, Mike Will made it. Because before then, it was just Mike Will. And then after that, it was just like, yo, Mike Will made it, Mike Will made it, Mike Will made it. And I was just like, all right, well, shit, I'm going to run with Mike Will made it then. You know what I'm saying? Word.
And then you had the drop, you know?
Oh, yeah. Then like, I was working with my homegirl. It's like my sister, Haisha. And she's like a songwriter, you know what I'm saying, artist or whatnot. And we were just in the studio and she just had like a dope voice. And I was just like, yo, Haisha. I'm like, man, can you please I need like a tag or something. Cause I got all these songs out with Gucci, with OJ the Juice Man, with Shawty Low, with Soulja Boy, with, you know what I'm saying, 2 Chainz, all these people, but nobody knows how to like pointed back to me. Like they don't know who's doing it. At this time, I was like a young kid in the game, just trying to get in the game. But at this time, like Shawty Red, Fat Boy, KO, like all those producers were like running the game. You know what I'm saying? They were running Atlanta. So and Zaytoven, all of them were running the game. So it was like nobody really knew, like, okay, Mike Will's making those beats. Nobody knew how to. So I was like, okay, man, I need to find a way for people to like go back to like, okay, this song is coming from him. This song is coming from him. Just like I knew every song that was coming from Shawty Red or Fat Boy or like, you know what I'm saying, Zaytoven. So like I was like, all right, cool. And I was the youngest of them all. So I was like, yo, Haitian man, can you just say Mike Will made it? And I was like, nah, more whisper. No, like this. Oh, that might be it. And then we put hella effects on it, and then I just held it because I never liked it because it sounded, because at first it was like Mike Will made it, and it just sounded like a McDonald's commercial. Like it was just like too like, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, man, I don't know, I just held it for so long. And then I pulled it back up one day. I was in the basement with one of my homeboys. I pulled it back up one day. I was like, man, I need a tag. And I was like, man, Hey Shad did this. And then we listened back to it. And then I just kept throwing effects on it. And then I put the verify on the made it part. So it was like, Mike Will made it. And I was like, yo, this shit sound hard. And then I found my pocket. And that was it ever since.
What was the first beat that you put that drop on? If you can remember that.
Man, probably some real hood shit. For real. It's probably like a beat that I made like $1,000 for that never left the neighborhood. But as far as some shit that's been heard, it's probably like 2 Chainz or Future would be like a song that I put it on that people have heard. You know what I'm saying?
Dirty Sprite?
It was like around that time. It was like Dirty Sprite, but it might have been no. It was like 2 Chainz was first. It was like was it on Kill the Parking Lot? It might have been. No. That was still no, that was another tag.
It was a different tag.
Yeah. No, it was 2 Chainz for sure. I think it was 24/7 365, or either it was Going Through It by 2 Chainz, and that was the first time. Yeah, it was on Going Through It by 2 Chainz because that's how, when I met Esco at Magic City, I told Esco, I said, yo, I'm about to go hard on this production. I'm about to go on the run. I'm about to just link up with everybody. I got a new sound, bro. I got a production team. And you know what I'm saying? I got my business together. So, like, I'm about to go hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just need you to break these records. And he was like, man, I'm with it as long as you work with my artist. And I was like, who's your artist? He was like, man, Future. I was like, who is Future? What song does he have right now? And then he was like, man, he got that Mexico lingo, and he got that Watch This. I'm like, man, easy call, man. Watch This. That's my favorite song. I was trying to figure out who sang the song anyway, because at that time, Watch This and Mexico lingo were like going dumb in the strip club, and I was in the strip club every night. So I was like, man.
Well, just for people who don't know, the strip club culture in Atlanta is really big to the music culture, like Magic City.
Yeah, definitely. If your song go in the strip club and to go in the teen club, I know it's like, you know what I'm saying, like night and day. But if it's like the strip club and the teen club, if it goes in those 2 places, the song is gone. That's just always how Atlanta went. So I was like 20, 21 at the time, 22, you know what I'm saying? So I was like right there at the cusp, so I could still go to the teen club and be like the big homie, and then I'll go to the strip club and be like the young kid that might not have an ID that can get in, or you know what I'm saying? Or just a young kid that was just in there. So I was just going to both and just rocking with the DJs, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, so I went to the strip club, talked to Esco, and then Esco wanted me to work with Future, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's an easy call. Like, that's an easy call. Like, man, that Watch This, that's my favorite song right now, period. Like, there's nothing fucking with that. Like, that dude, he's gonna be the shit, you know what I'm saying? So we got in the studio, then Dirty Sprite, I put my tag on Dirty Sprite, and then, but Esco already knew who I was, because Esco was like, yo, you made that Going Through It for 2 Chainz. But he had heard the tag, you know what I'm saying? So that's when everything started making sense.
And then, you know, around this time, post Gucci Mane, you're making a lot of beats for Atlanta producers and stuff. You know, you're doing a lot of numbers, but you also are going to school at the same time, right?
Yeah, I was going to Georgia State.
Yeah. So you're going to college, but you have like some of the hottest tracks coming out of the city at the same time. Were people like not believing you when you'd be like a car would go by and it's like your beat and you're like,
Man,
listen to the tag?
I was just trying to stay out the way, so I wouldn't even want them to believe me. I was going to Georgia State. I wasn't talking to not one kid at Georgia State. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to be the man on campus. I was going to school because my sister graduated. Both of my sisters graduated college. You know what I'm saying? And one of my sisters made nothing less than a B all the way through school. You know what I'm saying? And then my other sister, she graduated from Georgia State. So I didn't want to be the only fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, man. And my dad wasn't playing about school at all. Like, he wasn't playing. So he was like, man, yo, you got to go to school so you can make sure you get a good job. I'm just like, yo, man, working ain't really for me, though. You know what I'm saying? Because when I had a job, I might be on a schedule to be there at 9 a.m. I might not show up to 12 p.m. because I was at the studio all night before. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, really ain't for me. But I went to school because I feel like school is for anybody who wants to learn. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to learn. I didn't have it figured out. I ain't have nothing going on. So I might as well be learning than running around doing, you know what I'm saying, some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I was just like, man, okay, I'm going to go to Georgia State. So I was going there specifically to learn, turn my papers in, do my tests, or do whatever it was. I wasn't trying to be the man on campus. I wasn't trying, hey, yo, you know that song with Gucci? You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't really at where I wanted to be anyway. So I didn't even want them to, I didn't want that kind of attention. Like, oh, that's a dude that does stuff for Gucci. Then it's like, man, what kind of shoes, or what kind of car? Like, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like all that kind of stuff. So it's like, nah, they don't even need to know that. I'm just in there chilling.
That's
like
that's very mature of you for a college kid. Like, I personally would be like, yeah, I made that beat.
Yeah. I was different, bro. I was like out the way. I was like, I wasn't trying to be cool with everybody at school. I knew I was leaving school. I was actually leaving school, pulling up on Future on 11th Street. Gucci was at Patchwork. I'm pulling up on Gucci at Patchwork. You know what I'm saying? Then those studios are like right next to each other. They're like literally 2 minutes away from each other. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll go to another studio where like a lot of underground like street rappers will be at, and I'll have the A room, B room, and C room all working on my beats. And then I'll leave those 3 studios, and then 2 Chainz don't like going to the studio till like 11 p.m., 12 a.m. And I'll drive all the way to Old National and go in with 2 Chainz. Old National, that's like the south side of town. I'll drive all the way down there, be in the studio with 2 Chainz till like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then drive all the way back to Marietta where I live, then go back to school. So I really I didn't get no sleep. So I'm not really in a talking mood anyway. I'm in there just chilling, just trying to, you know what I'm saying, do what I got to do to make sure I get, you know what I'm saying, the good grades. But then, like, one day I just noticed, I was like, I was in late registration, and I was just looking around, and I was like, damn, man, it's like 1,000, 2,000 people in here. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm coming from Georgia, so I'm getting like a discounted rate to like go to school. But I'm hearing like the other numbers that these other kids have to pay. And I'm like, shit, they're making a lot of money in here, bro. And I just knew my student loans was going like, I was going deeper and deeper and deeper in student loans. So at that point, I felt like Future was so good. I felt like 2 Chainz was so good. I felt like my production team was solid at this time. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like we were coming with a new sound. And I knew Gucci was about to come home. And then I had just linked with an A&R for Rick Ross, and I had sent him some beats, and he was saying Ross was fucking with it. So I'm like, yo, you know what? Man, fuck school. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I can't make like I'm really going more and more in debt. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, I'm not trying to keep, you know what I'm saying, going in debt. So I called my pops one day. I'm like, yo, why you want me to go to school so bad? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my production team is gonna be the illest. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, man, I'm working with these rappers, man, 2 Chainz and Future. Man, people don't know them right now, but they're going to be the hottest shit next year. This was like 2010. I was like, man, they're going to be the hottest shit next year. And then I was like, man, then I messed with Gucci, man. And then I think Rick Ross about to get on the beat. I'm like, man, I'm about to just not go to school.
So let me talk about that, because I think that is the big moment for you where I think your dad had to be like, okay,
No.
no,
My
not
dad,
even.
No, my dad is from the military, so it's what he says. His period is just like nah. He like nah. You going to school? You know what I'm saying? Because music is gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? So just finish school, and then music will be there. And I was like, well, nah. I'm gonna go for music, and school is gonna be there. So if the music don't work, I'm gonna go back to school. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, and we had two different views, but I lived in the house with my mom. You know what I'm saying? So my mom was like, my mom with whatever I'm with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be making beats in the house, just beating. Like, you know what I'm saying? We in a small house, the whole house shaking, just, you know what I'm saying? And she upstairs just kicking it on the phone, watching TV, watching soap operas, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So my mom was like, man, whatever you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to do. And my dad was like, nah, he wasn't hearing it. So he thought I enrolled in school, and I didn't. So he hit me up, and he was like, man, hey, how's school going? I'm like, man, I told you I wasn't about to enroll. I wasn't about to enroll. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm focusing on this music for real. So we kind of had a little disagreement right then. He wasn't really feeling me. And then we got off the phone. But like a week later, Dirty Sprite dropped. Boom. Then like 2 Chainz, Codeine Cowboy dropped. And then Tupac Back dropped. You know what I'm saying? And then when those 3 dropped, that was like within that first semester I dropped out of school. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, now it's like, man, Pops, I told you, man, like, I got a song that's going on the radio now, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, ooh. So now it's like, I really just stepped into a whole nother realm, you know what I'm saying? Because now it's like, okay, I kind of skipped a step, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, rewind a little bit. Like, what made me start a production team is because I had all these songs in the streets with, like, Gucci, OJ, Soulja Boy, like, all those people I named before, 2 Chainz, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, yo, what's the difference between me and like a Shawty Red, or like me and like a Kanye, or like me and like a, you know what I'm saying, one of these producers I look up to, Juicy J, Dr. Dre, whoever, you know what I'm saying, like, what's the difference? And I was like, okay, they all had a production team, and they all were treating this music like business. At first, I wasn't treating the music like business. I was just treating it like shit. I just want to, you know what I'm saying, make some hard shit and just listen to it. And so, like, that's when I started realizing, okay, music and the music business, that's 2 different things. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's 2 different things. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I've been focusing on the music this whole time. Let me focus on the music business. Like, let me get a team together. Let me come with like a sound. Like, all those guys had a sound. You know, 3 6 Mafia sound. You know, Kanye's sound. You know, Dr. Dre's sound. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody had like a sound. It was like a organized, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. Like, and it was like, man, okay, we got to make an L brand. So it was like, man, EarDrummers was like a vision that I had when I was like 17. I came up with the name EarDrummers. And like, if you listen to Gucci's old mixtapes, like you'll hear it on there. They'll be like, yo, shout out to Mike Will on the track. Shout out to the whole EarDrummer crew. You know what I'm saying? This dude's 18 years old. He's a beast. Way back then, but EarDrummers was only one person. But I had a vision in my mind, like, okay, I want to make the illest production team with the illest songwriters and the illest producers on the team. You know what I'm saying? This without anybody telling me to do this. I'm just doing my research. I'm just being a student of the game and just seeing what's going on.
So how did you discover your sound specifically? You're saying, you know, Kanye, he has his sound. They all have their sound.
I started building my team. Like, I knew with me, when the EarDrummers was just me, my sound was to have it beating in that Tahoe. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever car has a system, my beats need to be knocking. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was my sound. And then like Gucci, like after we did like those 20 songs in 3 days, I had brought him some more beats, and he told me like, yo, Mike, I ain't gonna lie to you. I love these beats, but man, we gotta take the sound to the next level, dog. Like, we gotta take it to the next level. And I never knew what he was talking about until he started dropping like Lemonade and Rockstar Lifestyle Might Not Make. Like, I started hearing all the singles, and so that's when I started trying to elevate my sound. Then when I started trying to elevate my sound, Walker decided to start rapping, you know what I'm saying? And then Walker was like, man, I need the old Mike Will. So I was kind of like torn in between the two of taking my sound to the next level and then still having it like gritty. So that's what I was focusing on, like, okay, what's like a perfect blend? And then I went to high school with my boy A+, and like we always used to just he used to make his beats, I used to make my beats, and then we used to just critique each other's beats. You know what I'm saying? And that was my boy. Then I taught my boy Schoolie how to make beats, and then my other homeboy, P Nasty, I met from a mutual friend or whatnot, and then he was already him and Mars had a relationship like me and Plus, so he brought Mars. You know what I'm saying? And then we just all together. You know what I'm saying? Just started putting it all in a melting pot, like in a pot, and then we all started coming with like a sound, and it was just like, okay, boom, he might snatch this from me, he might snatch that from him, he might snatch that from him, and then it was like, you know what I'm saying, like none of the beats sounded the same, but you know what I'm saying, it was like a consistent sound, like people could tell what it was. It was like that knocking, weird sounding beat that will always have a filter on it, that will, you know what I'm saying?
What advice would you give people who want to make beats collaboratively? Like, what advice would you give for people trying to make beats together?
A mastermind is never one mind. A mastermind is a collective of minds. So if you want to be a mastermind on the production or the beats or whatever you do, clothes, videos, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like a mastermind is a collective of minds. So, you know what I'm saying? Collaborations is always good. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like we were like one of the first people out of the city that was like open to like collaborate on beats. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, when I was first coming in the game, it was like everybody was like this. No, man, my beat harder than your beat, or man, my beat do this, or you know what I'm saying? Everybody just like in competition, but I'm just like, man, shit, your beat's hard as a motherfucker. I don't know how to do the melodies like that, but I know you don't know how to do the bounce like this, so I'm gonna do the bounce like this, and you put the melody on top of that, and let's see how that sounds. That shit sound new, you know what I'm saying? So at that time, like we were the first one with a production team, and we kind of like kicked the door down and paved the way for like, you know what I'm saying, every producer that was gonna come after us, you know what I'm saying? Which like now, if you see like how the producers move out of Atlanta now, they're down to collaborate, they're down to work with each other.
What do you think that is? It seems like in Atlanta it happens way more than in other places, you know?
I mean, I feel like I kind of just explained that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't be want to take all the credit for that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't know. I can't really tell you. Maybe they went and did their research the same way I did my research, and they just looked at Dr. Dre and Kanye, or you know what I'm saying? Maybe Quiet as Kept, they looked at me and they were just like, man, dang, Mike Will and P Nasty and Mars and A Plus, like the EarDrummers, they doing their thing, and they're young just like me. They're only a couple years older than me, and they're doing their thing. Man, we could do it too. And maybe in their mind it was a, you know what I'm saying, it was like a inspiring thing. Maybe it was a competition thing. Maybe I don't know what it was, but you know what I'm saying, it's just dope to see it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the artists always in Atlanta, the artists always collaborated. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the reason why New York, you know what I'm saying, started kind of like, you know what I'm saying, running into a bumpy road is because they started beefing with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Mostly producers are often very competitive, but not in a collaborative way.
Oh, I was talking about artists, but you're right though. That's exactly how it was when I first came in. It was like producers were like, you know what I'm saying, like competitive. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Gucci even to tell you like, man, what made him start rocking with me like real tough, because he was like, man, bro, you were just competitive and you were aggressive. Like you'll just sit over there, you'll be the youngest nigga in the room, you'll just be over there like this, like, you know what I'm saying, listening to everybody beats. And then as soon as it's time to play your beat, you just walk over there, grab the aux cord, put the phone in, and then just turn the shit up as loud as you can and just boom, the shit just knocking. And then Gucci like, man, I ain't had no choice but to get on your beats. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing how aggressive and competitive you were and how I'll stay in the studio all day. You can rap on everybody's beats. That's cool. I'm going to stand right here because I know this first beat that I'm finna play is finna goddamn just go crazy. Because if I don't have a beat like that, I'm not going to show up to the studio. But if I got a beat like that, I'm finna show up to the studio and I'm finna stand there all day. Record on everything. It's all good. Because when I play this beat, I already know what it's about to be. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it was. But, like, yeah, man, going back to the production team, I built that production team. And then, like, you know what I'm saying? At that point, I'm like, okay, I gotta start getting my business together. You know what I'm saying? I gotta start running a team. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to run the game like I was Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I wanted to do. So I was like, all right, bet this is what we're gonna do. So when those 3 songs came out that semester that I dropped out of school, then it was like that's when I started seeing a whole nother thing, because that's when like songs started getting on the radio. You got a team, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like, okay, now it's time to boss up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I want to play a song that represents that period and was definitely blasting in the Tahoes all across America.
Tahoes, Caprices.
And this is Tupac Back.
Benzes.
This is Tupac Back, Meek Mill, and Rick Ross.
That was me and Meek Mill's introduction to the game.
And you weren't aware of Meek Mill at the time, right?
It was crazy because we were so hungry to get on. Man, it was so crazy, man. We were so hungry to get on, man. I just know that Rick Ross recorded that song, King of Diamonds, and Marble Floors all in the same night. You know what I'm saying? Even though they all came out at different times. Wow. He recorded all those songs in the same night. And then like I thought it was gonna be Rick Ross songs. So when the song dropped and I saw everyone on the internet and I heard the verse, I'm like, man, dog, because this one like Rick Ross was like, he's still lit, you know what I'm saying? But this one like it was like
BMF, all those tracks
had
come
like,
out.
Yeah, Rick Ross is law. So it's like when I heard somebody else on the raps, I didn't even want to hear what the raps were saying. I was just like, man, why the fuck ain't Rick Ross all the way through here? You know what I'm saying? But then I started listening to the verse and I'm like, oh dang, buddy, snap. And then that's when I started doing my research on Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, he gonna be hard. And then that was like a defining moment for him and a defining moment for me. And it was just a dope song. Like that song just sounded like a horse on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, just
a horse?
Yeah, a horse. It sounded like it just wasn't gonna stop. Like horses don't stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just sounded
like Young Thug says, right?
Exactly, a horse.
So you have this song was huge when it came out. When did you realize that you just had like a monster on your hands?
Man, when that shit was sounding like a horse on the radio. It just, I was hearing everything else on the radio. It was sounding, you know what I'm saying? It was sounding dope. But when that came on, it was a different kind of energy. It was just like, yo, what the, you know what I'm saying? It didn't matter where you went in the country. It just, like when that song came on, it cut through. Like you could still, like if DJs were to like still drop that in the mix, it stands out. It just sounds strong. It just has that energy. It just sounds like, yo, what the, it makes anybody do this. Like if your face just squinches up, you know what I'm saying?
That nasty look.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
So I find a lot of your beats have that effect on people. They make you do the screw face. Yeah. You know, it's like, how do you generate this kind of energy with your beats? Because I feel like you're very dynamic, but I feel like you're very known for an upbeat sound in that way.
Man, I feel like, man, like with me, with my whole team and everything, I just feel like man, I feel like we don't even feel like the track is done or the song is done or anything unless it has that kind of energy. I'm sitting on so many songs that if my boy Obbs, who's my A&R, or my boy B Wright, who's, you know what I'm saying, creative direction, if they were to pick, these songs would have been out. But there's songs that I feel like, man, I don't know, it's not time for it. Maybe at one point it's just gonna be time for it because it just sounds all the way different. But I got songs with so many different people, you know what I'm saying, and we might just feel like it's not time for that song to go out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if that energy's not up there, I'm telling you, I really stick to those Tahoe days, man. I really stick to those days because when I was like 15, 14, riding in the Tahoe, making those dirty beats, like my face was like in the Tahoe. I was just young, just turned, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, you hear this? You know what I'm saying? So if the song don't make me do that, like in the studio, like, you know what I'm saying? Or it just doesn't sound new, or it just doesn't cut through, or it's not fresh, it don't need to be out. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted anything to fit in. You know what I'm saying? I wanted shit to stick out. You know what I'm saying? and that's just, I don't know. That's how I look at it.
I feel like often producers, they can lose touch of like the Tahoe days. You know, they can kind of forget where they came from. But it seems like throughout your career, you've managed to maintain a certain level of quality with everything.
Man, I feel like the difference between me and those producers is like when they were going to Georgia State, they would have been like, yo, you know, I made that beat for Gucci. You know what I'm saying? They do it for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do it for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was putting out music, I was dropping mixtapes with baby pictures. I don't even give a damn if anybody knows what I look like or knows. It was really all about the music. It was really all about making the illest shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what we wanted to do. Whether it was pop, whether it was trap, whether it was whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, when everybody started getting on the trap wave, you know what I'm saying? And everybody started like, you know what I'm saying? Like, being inspired by our sound and what we were doing, like on the trap wave, like, and like the hip hop wave, that's when, like, you know what I'm saying, we redirect the focus and start working with Miley. You know what I'm saying? That just shows you how, you know what I'm saying, like, how we think. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're like, okay, everybody's doing that. Everybody's, you know what I'm saying, like, kind of redoing the sound and doing it their own way. All right, cool, we about to do this. Boom, we can't stop. You know what I'm saying? 23, no filter on 23. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, and just focus on this pop lane, no matter what anybody has to say about Miley Cyrus. You know what I'm saying?
So a lot of people, you know, up to that point, like 2012, you went to the moon. You know, you had so many big tracks.
13.
But both, I think
12,
even
12.
2012, because it was like No Lie, Bands That Make Her Dance, Pour It Up.
No, Pour It Up was 13, right?
Yeah? I don't think so.
I don't know.
773 Love, which I was huge. Turn on the Lights. Yeah. You know, like your profile was kind of growing steadily with each track. And then when everyone expected you to zig, you zag with the Miley thing.
Yeah.
You know, so actually, I'd like to play the song first before I get into this, because I have a theory about this.
Oh, okay.
But it's all good. But this is We Can't Stop.
Right here got a theory. That's hard.
I'm always thinking.
That's fine.
So this is Miley Cyrus, We Can't Stop. Now, just even here in the studio, the track bangs so hard.
That shit slap.
It's crazy. And it's like,
I love that song.
You know, we take it for granted now because now it's like we're living in trap world, right? Where it's like there's this expectation of, oh yeah, there's gonna be like pop songs with like, you know, like heavy bass drum, but like it wasn't like that before that track.
Hell no.
No.
Man, look, let's be very clear. Boom, 2012, I had No Lie, Bands Make Her Dance, Turn on the Lights. I was broke as fuck with those songs out. I wasn't putting any of my songs with ASCAP. I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I told you I wasn't even looking at it like that. I thought music was just like, boom, you make a hot song, you put it out, you get rich. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you got music, then you got the music business. You know what I'm saying? So 2012, I was like, okay, I got to start handling my business. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm broke as hell. Everybody around me broke. You know what I'm saying? But we got these hard songs out. You know what I'm saying? Only way we're surviving is just from independence, just hype off the hype and buying beats, you know what I'm saying? So that's the only money that we were getting. So, you know what I'm saying? Or either like whatever checks we were getting for album placements, you know what I'm saying? But that's not going to last you. You know what I'm saying? That's not
at
like...
At that time, it wasn't like any publishing happening.
Not yet. I didn't even really know about publishing. So then at that point, I met my manager, DJ, which is Jimmy Iovine's nephew, and he just could not believe that I didn't have a manager. You know what I'm saying? Because I was managing myself, and he was like, man, you got 3 songs on the charts. You don't have a manager? I was like, nah. And then I was like, man, look, this is my vision, though. This is why I don't have a manager. Because every manager is trying to step in and just be the cool guy standing next to me and be like, yo, this my little homie. Yeah, he got these songs on the radio. No, I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? I don't need anybody to give me cool points. I don't need that. I need somebody that's going to handle this business so we can get some money. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, oh, yeah. He was like, man, you gotta register your songs with ASCAP. You got to do this. You got to, ooh. And then I was like, man, everybody trying to sign me. I'm not even trying to hear what they talking about because I'm not trying to sign anything without signing all my homies And you know what I'm saying? So we not moving. So at the end of the day, we need to get everything together. So he started helping me get all my business together. First person he bring me around is Jimmy Iovine. Boom. I meet with Jimmy Iovine. Jimmy Iovine hears bands make her dance, turn on the lights. No lie. At that time, then I play him a bunch of other songs. I played them Bitches Love Me, just the hook. I just had Bitches Love Me, the hook on my phone. And then with Future and Drake. And then this before Wayne had hopped on it. And then I was just playing him a bunch of shit. And I was just letting him know my vision and everything. He was like, and like we would meet, you know what I'm saying? Every time I come to LA, we would meet. And he told me, he was like, yo, Mike, man, you know what you have to do? Like, you know what your job is? Like, you know what you really have to do? I was like, what? He was like, man, you have to make hip hop music pop. I'm like, what? He was like, man, you have to make hip hop music pop. I'm like, dog, you sound crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? What do you mean? And he was like, man, I'm telling you. I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, I like pop music. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of pop beats, but people don't really like listen for that from me. You know what I'm saying? They want to hear the hip hop. He was like, listen, man, listen. He was like, man, Dr. Dre was pop, Tupac was pop. You know what I'm saying? Kanye's pop. You know what I'm saying? Pharrell was pop. He was like, man, and they still kept their sound. He was like, man, you are the only one who could do that of this new generation. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, he was like, man, salute to all the four on the floor shit. He was like, but everything on pop radio sounds the same right now. He was like, and you have a sound that's defining enough that can do it. I'm just like, man, yo, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just thinking that he just talking over my head. But then when I saw, like, No Lie, go #1 in crossover, then Turn on the Lights crossed over, then Bands Make Her Dance crossed over. You know what I'm saying? All songs went up urban charts first and then crossed over and went pop. And you know what I'm saying? Or went rhythmic, or you know what I'm saying? Like, but No Lie went pop. When I saw that, that's when I was like, yo, dang, that's what Jimmy was talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that's when, and then he told me all those guys that I looked up to were pop. And then he was like, man, you're letting people from overseas come over here and just run the clubs. You know what I'm saying? But really your songs are the songs that run the clubs. You know what I'm saying? So you have to keep going. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to get with the right artists, and you know what I'm saying? And da-da-da. And it's crazy because Kanye had just told me the same thing in 2012, like early 2012 before I met Jimmy. So Kanye was just telling me the same thing. So I'm listening to it, and I wasn't really putting two and two together. So when we did We Can't Stop, we had originally did it for Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? And then we had that song, we had Pour It Up, and we had this other song. And I was in there getting frustrated because they were telling me that Rihanna wasn't picking my songs at first. And I was like, man, I know I got 3 hits. Just put me in the room with Rihanna, man. Put me in the room with her. I know I got 3 hits. She got to pick one of these. You know what I'm saying? I know I got it. I know I got it. And then Chris Brown ended up coming to the studio. And then he came in the room with me, and I let him hear We Can't Stop. And then I let him hear Pour It Up. And he told me We Can't Stop. He was like, I like this song, but it's kind of moving slow right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it was sounding a different way than that at first. You know what I'm saying? He was like, it's kind of sounding a little slow. And for Rihanna, he was like, man, let me hear something else. And I played Pour It Up. And he got up, started like dancing. And he was like, yo, man, I got to get this to Rihanna. Like, I got to get this to baby girl, man. If she don't fuck with it, this is my next single, period. This is my next single. Like, I know this is a hit. Like, I know what this is. I understand that ratchet shit. I'm like, all right, bet. So he went and hollered at Rihanna. Then Rihanna called and was like, yo, it's some song Chris is talking about that Mike Will got. Can y'all get it to me? So I sent him Pour It Up, and then she got on Pour It Up. So every time I would play We Can't Stop, I always would say, man, this is a new Party in USA. This is a new Party in USA. Not even really knowing that Party in USA was Miley's song. Like, I didn't really, like, listen to... I knew Party in USA, but I didn't know, like, the artist or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, man, this is a new Party in USA. This is a new party. And so one of my homegirls was like, man, why don't you get it to Miley Cyrus? And you always say that. Why don't you get it to Miley Cyrus? And I was like, man, you right. So I called my for real. I called my manager and I was like, yo, I need to get in the studio with Miley Cyrus. He sent me Miley Cyrus with a question mark. He was like, and then he was like, is she working? And I was like, man, I don't care. I was like, man, I know this song that I got for her, bro. She gonna be back working. She gonna be out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. Like, I need to get in the studio with her. I need to get next to her, bro. And then he was like, man, all right, I'll work on it. I'll send her, you know what I'm saying? I'll figure out how to get you in the studio with her. So I remember like a couple days later, I went to New York and I had a meeting with all the labels. You know what I'm saying? I had a meeting with all the labels. And it was this last, New York, it was like 12 degrees outside. So I had this last meeting and it was with RCA. And at this time, it was at nighttime. So it was 8 degrees outside. And my boy, I had just signed my publishing deal to Warner Chappell. And my boy Ryan Press was just moving me around all the labels. So I called Ryan and I was like, yo, I'm not going to the last meeting, bro. And then he was like, man, you got to, man. It's with RCA. I said, bro, it's 8 degrees outside, dog. Like, I'm not going. He was like, man, I'm telling you, it's with the top guy from RCA. It's going to be worth it, da-da-da. And I didn't know it was going to be that cold, so I didn't have no jacket or anything. So I was like, man, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I just went to the meeting, and then I'm playing them a whole bunch of music. And then I was like, man, this song right here is like the new Party in USA, man. But I didn't know Miley was signed to the label. I was like, man, it's like the new Party in USA. It's going to be big. If y'all have any pop artists, then, you know what I'm saying, y'all should just get this song to them. You know what I'm saying? So I played it for him, and then Peter Edge was like, yo, this would be good for Miley Cyrus. I'm like, hell yeah. and then he was like, man, yo, she signed to this label. I'm like, for real? I'm like, yo, we need to get this to her. I'm telling you, man, like this is like, this gonna be the one. And then he was like, man, he called her A&R upstairs. He gave it to her. And then when she met up with Miley Cyrus heard it and she said she liked it off the rip just because she connected with it because it reminded her of a specific party that she went to. You know what I'm saying? And that's why she said she just connected with it. And then she liked this other beat. You know what I'm saying? And then at that point, I was like, man, yo, we need to get in the studio. I need to make sure she, like, does this, like, right. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is, like, my first real stab at, like, a pop song. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that Miley was, like, she's a pop star, period. You know what I'm saying? And then all she needed was the right song, and then that's going to be a pop song. So I was like, man, this almost what Jimmy Iovine was talking about, like, you know what I'm saying, hip-hop, pop, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So she loved the song. So at first, she was singing it like the reference, and I'm like, yo, Miley, man, like, these guys who wrote this song are from the West Indies. Like, they're from the islands. You're from Nashville, Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to sound like them. I need to hear that country twang. Like, I need you to sound like you. You know what I'm saying?
Who's that wrote that?
Rock City.
Right.
And, so, boom, she started singing it her way, and then she started feeling comfortable singing it her way. Because at first she thought she had to do it like that, because she was saying like all the pop producers that she worked with before, like had like real strict guidelines on how they wanted their records, you know what I'm saying, recorded. And I wasn't like that. I know art is all about layers, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? No matter what art we're talking about. If we're talking about painting, if we're talking about cars, the reason Benz is so fire, you know what I'm saying, is because all the layers that it has. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that it comes with. You know what I'm saying? A beat. You know what I'm saying? Like if it has all the right layers on it. My man looking back there like he don't understand what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying? If you ever drove a Benz, you know what I'm saying? Like my Benz has massage seats. You know what I'm saying? And it has a refrigerator in the back, and it has heated seats, and it has air conditioning seats, and the engine goes fast as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And then when you turn each corner, you know what I'm saying? Like the seat grabs you. You know what I'm saying? All that's art. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was riding in a Bonneville, that car didn't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's a whole next level of art. You know what I'm saying? When you look at paintings, you know what I'm saying, you could pay attention to the one blue shoe right there, or you could step away and be like, okay, damn, this is a whole crazy picture. Damn, how did he get that to look like that? Because he mixed orange with brown with, you know what I'm saying, something else, and he made it look like that. That's visual art. You know what I'm saying? On audio art with music, sometimes you got to know the simplicity of stopping or keep going. So you got to know, okay, this beat right here is simple, but it sounds great. Boom. You know what I'm saying? all we need is vocals on here. That's the last instrument. You know what I'm saying? Then those vocals might bring you to put one more melody on top of it. And then, you know what I'm saying? Or I might combine 3 808s to make a certain beat sound a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about layers. Matter of fact, we got the aux cord right here. I'm about to play something right quick. And like this talking at the beginning, it was really a fuck up because the computer had said something when Future was recording, and I was just like, yo, keep that shit in there, man. Like, layers, man. Layers in art.
Tasks with
So like the dogs growling.
Is that from Ape Shit?
Nah, this was me and Future were just working, just doing this. But yeah, that was like the dogs growling in there, the girl coming in, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like 4 808s on top of each other. And I made the beat. One of my homies had brought me a beat machine they made. They're from like London. And I started the beat like that, but then like I put more 808s from like Fruity Loops. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's just different layers. Like same thing with like Gucci Man. Same thing with like this song right here. This started off, it was just a drum loop, and then Gucci just first day he got out of jail, he just called me and was like, "Yo, send me some beats, bro. I need some beats right now. I'm about to head to the house and just record." And it was just a drum loop, and then I took his vocals and then I added everything else around it. But
I got to talk about that song. So,
yeah.
so the text comes, Gucci's coming home early. What are you saying?
I was talking to him the whole time he was locked down, so I knew when he was coming home, but I just couldn't say anything.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
For real. You know what's, hold on, I got one last.
Hey, man, you can
example.
play as much as you want.
It's just one last example, and if people heard Gucci's album, they probably didn't even peep this, but this is just back like talking about layers. I had gave Gucci another, it was just like an open drum loop. Cause the more open the beat is, the better Gucci does. You know what I'm saying? Because he animates his voice and different stuff like that. But I had gave him this one drum loop, and he didn't even realize that he did 2 songs on it. You know what I'm saying? That he used the drum loop twice. So I ended up trying to make a whole nother beat around it. And he was like, nah, it's not rocking the same. So I just ended up using the same drums, and then me and Zaytoven just added like some different sounds on the other one. But these 2 beats that were just on his last album were like pretty much like the same.
2002.
For real. Yeah, so basically those 2 songs got the same drums, you know what I'm saying? But it's just all about the layers, and you won't even realize it because they sound like 2 different songs, you know what I'm saying?
And so those were both on Everybody Looking. That was Richest Nigga in the Room and Way Back. Yeah. And that album, there was some collaborative production going on, right?
Yeah, definitely. Me and Zaytoven went crazy.
Yeah, and was that in? That was at his mansion.
We did at least an M. We did at least an M at his house. And really, that's about it. Other than that, we were just in the studio. We collabed in the studio with each other, you know what I'm saying, before he came home. We pretty much already knew. Like, we've been working with Gucci for so long, so we pretty much already knew that he'll go crazy on certain tracks, or he'll, you know what I'm saying, connect with certain tracks and shit. But yeah, like, back to what I was saying about, like, you know what I'm saying, like layers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was all about layers. So with Miley Cyrus, it was like, you know what I'm saying, like, we worked on We Can't Stop for so long, and it was just like, man, yo, add libs right here, or add like harmonies right here, or either, you know what I'm saying, stack the part on the bridge where she was like, dang, how does that bridge go? Hey, my bad. Hold on one second.
from We Can't Stop?
Yeah, hold on a second.
It's all.
Like that whole want to. It's our time, we can say what we want to. Like, I was really, like, a lot of my inspiration, like, before I went to the studio, going to the studio with her on that album was from the Fun album. You know what I'm saying? And my boy Jeff Basker, like, executive produced that album. So, like, I was really, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jeff Basker, that's, like, my boy. So, like, I always respected what he did. So I was just listening to it, and I was just like, damn, I just respected that Fun album. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was, like, one of my favorite albums. So I was just like, damn, this is my first shot at a pop record. You know what I'm saying? What am I respecting in the pop world right now? You know what I'm saying? And I was respecting We Are Young, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
A lot of people wouldn't expect you to be listening to that music.
Yeah. Assuming makes an ass out of you and me.
I heard that before.
But yeah, like definitely I listen to Fun. I listen to everything. Queen. I listen to everything. As a producer, I feel like you have to listen to everything.
What are some inspirational artists to you, like that we wouldn't think?
Fun, Queen, Jeff Basker, Trent Reznor.
I heard you up in the studio. You were talking about the Pet Shop Boys.
Oh yeah, Pet Shop Boys. Yeah, I like the production on Pet Shop Boys. I like the Smiths. I like man. If you look at my iTunes, man, it's like pretty much like, oh yeah, Bobby Womack for sure. But I mean, he an old school player, so I think they might. Everybody think that one. Beth Hart. I like Beth Hart. You know what I'm saying? Bon Iver. I listen to Cyndi Lauper a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yo, but the Flame Lips, I pretty much got everybody in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanna get in the car, cause when you get into that artsy Benz, man, and it's just grabbing you and all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you gotta play some different kind of music. You know what I'm saying?
That Cyndi Lauper just like
Man,
blasting.
Cyndi Lauper and then Young Scooter, and then you know what I'm saying? And then the Pet Shop Boys, and then Gucci Mane, and then, you know what I'm saying? And then 21 Savage. It's just like, the mix is crazy, you know what I'm saying? So it's just inspiration from everything, because one thing about music, what I look at is, like, music is all about, like, rhythm and melody. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times it's real important what, you know what I'm saying, our artist is saying. Sometimes, like, those lyrics can get people through life, you know what I'm saying? But I think the thing that transcends, like, throughout the whole world, you know what I'm saying, not only in the States, not only in, you know what I'm saying, the States to Canada, or not even only just North America, even overseas, it's like, it's really about rhythm and melody. I could put on like a beat right now and just try to see, like, man, let's see if, cause my boy right there be bouncing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I play a beat and he's not bouncing, I might not even look at him. I might just be playing a beat and just be looking at him like this and just see if he gonna bounce. If he gonna bounce, then it's like, okay, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the right beat. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? It might just be an amazing melody with no drums. Like, I play a couple more things to just explain what I'm saying.
Yeah, usually when I hang out with someone and you pass them the aux cord, like, they play something and it's just like, oh, you got to keep working on that. But with you, you can play as much as you want, obviously.
Man, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, this, like, man, this like an unfinished beat. I play this one. I play this joint. I just made this the other night. I did the first half of it, and then, like, when the beat, like, speeds up, my boy Weezy, he sped the beat up, you know what I'm saying? He works a lot with Young Thug.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I feel like with that beat, it's like missing the artist. So, like, we made it, like, on the spot. We just made it real quick for, like, Young Thug, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I feel like Young Thug was going to take it somewhere else, and if it needed anything else, you know what I'm saying, we could add some. But, like, a lot of people don't know this, but I found McConan, like, you know what I'm saying, like, he was, like, part of our squad first.
Really?
Well, he's still part of our squad, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying, like, he was, like, working in the basement, just grinding hard or whatnot. And then like we always just was like inviting him to the studio like when nobody even knew about him, and we were working on a project, and a lot of these songs like don't have drums. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was working with like Miley's guitarist, and I let him hear like Riding Dirty on 85 by the Youngbloods, and I said, "This is my favorite beat of all times. Is there any way we can take this and make it pop?" You know what I'm saying? And he just played some shit, and it just sounded dope. And I just added like a clap, and I never knew where to go with the drums. And then McCona had put this song on there. But that's just like, it's really just going back to what I was saying as far as like rhythm and melody. Like that, the first beat was like more rhythm that made everybody bounce, and then that right there is like, you know what I'm saying? You might hear that melody all day in your head. I'm smoking up since you ain't around. I got my melody.
How do you
know what I'm
know what kind of beat for what kind of artist? Like, just is it intuitive or?
I don't even know, bro. Because it's like when I'm pretty much dead set on it, I'm pretty much dead set on it. Like I played Ain't Nowhere Around It for Future 10 times. You know what I'm saying? Before he even hopped on it. So, like, I don't know. When I'm dead set on it, I'm dead set on it. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Just as far as music and production, man, it's like, and music, period, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to drop a project. Well, I was supposed to drop it in 2013. I just never did. But it's called Fuck Verses. And it's just, like, my take on jazz is like a hood jazz. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like just beats, and it might be like a hook, you know what I'm saying? But the rest of it is just beats. But it's called Fuck Verses. And it's just like basically, you know what I'm saying? Just because that's how I see music. It's all about layers, and it's all about melody and rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Those are the universal languages. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you don't even, some people in here might not even understand everything that I say because I'm from Atlanta, and you know what I'm saying? Like the way I talk, it's like might be so heavy in Atlanta, or you know what I'm saying? Heavy from Atlanta, but if they hear a beat, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll be like, or they might not understand what Young Thug says, but it's just like, yo, this melody is crazy. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, and Future was the first one. Like he was like one of the first ones coming through like that, like where people might not understand what he's saying, but they just love the song
You
so
feel
much.
it, you know?
Yeah, you feel it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're hearing the melody, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like you feel the feeling because you feel the pain in his voice, and then you hear the melody, and the melody's so good, and then the melody and the beat is so good, and you know what I'm saying? His cadence is so, he has like his own cadence, so it's like that's like a take on rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like rhythm and melody, that's a universal language. No matter if you speak French, if you speak English, if you speak Spanish, whatever.
That's very relevant here at the Academy. We've got so many people from around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, everybody in here got heat. I know it. For real.
So I want to change gears here. I'm gonna play a new single that you've been working on that just dropped with the video.
Which one is that?
It's Rae Sremmurd.
Oh yeah, Black Beatles.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I need to play this, and we need to talk about it. So
Okay.
I'm going to play it for the uninitiated first. This is Black Beatles featuring Gucci Mane, Rae Sremmurd. So, Mike Will, there are a lot of great songs in the history of music.
Thank you.
There's Bohemian Rhapsody. There's Beethoven's Fifth. There's Stairway to Heaven. Now we have Black Beatles.
Word,
And
for real.
I'm not joking. I'm actually totally serious. I think it's
crazy.
by far best song of the year. And I'm just wondering, with Rae Sremmurd, did you ever imagine them getting to that level? You know,
Man, hell yeah. Like, Sway Lee is amazing. Slim Jimmy is amazing. You know what I'm saying? They got the most energy. You know what I'm saying? And they're both forward pushing, and they're both humble as fuck, and they listen. And you know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, you know what I'm saying? I'm like a person that, you know what I'm saying, started to learn how to get it. You know what I'm saying? And like, okay, there's three things. There's the music business, like I've been talking about, and then the last third thing is the music industry. And that's everything that makes up the music, you know what I'm saying, business, like the producers, the songwriters, the managers, everything. But I started to understand the it factor, and that, you know what I'm saying, like everybody started saying like, man, you got the it factor. So with Rae Sremmurd, they had the it factor, you know what I'm saying? But they just needed to know certain knowledge, you know what I'm saying? They already had it on the music thing, you know what I'm saying? So when you find an artist that has like the it factor, that's already dope, that's already talented as fuck and can make dope songs or whatever, and they listen, you know what I'm saying? And all you're doing is giving them more and more knowledge to put in their, you know what I'm saying, to put in their head to do more, you know what I'm saying? It just, I already knew, okay, there's no limit with these guys. You know what I'm saying? Because they're humble enough to listen. Most people be like, oh, no, I'm the shit. I ain't got to hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? But like I said before, a mastermind is a collective of minds. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with Rae Sremmurd, I knew, boom, this got to be the first artist off of EarDrummers Entertainment, period. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like they got the swag, 2, they got the energy. You know what I'm saying? 3, their music is amazing. And 4, they're humble enough to listen. You know what I'm saying? And then we already got the movement, so it's like a full package.
How did you discover them in the first place?
Man, they were from Tupelo, Mississippi, and one of the other producers from EarDrummers was from Tupelo, Mississippi as well. And his cousin was actually their DJ and grew up with them. And they were already at his crib working. I was like moving around at the time. You know what I'm saying? They were at his crib working, and he was just telling me about him. I came in town. First time I saw him, I'm like, man, dog, these dudes is hard as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times when you run into people that's hard like that, like I said, they're hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying, you can't really have a conversation with them. You know what I'm saying? So after you see how talented somebody is, you got to see mentally, like, man, am I going to be able to work with this person? You know what I'm saying? Like, or is this person going to go get locked up or go do some crazy shit next week? You know what I'm saying? But they were humble kids, just really ready to win, really ready to work, and they're already forward thinkers. You know what I'm saying? So like when we first signed them to Interscope, man, I used to tell Interscope like, yo, man, do you understand what we got here? Like this is the hood in sync. Like this is the hood Backstreet Boys. Like this is the most ratchet that pop is gonna get, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? There's nobody in pop that can get this ratchet, and there's nobody in hip hop that can get this pop, period. You know what I'm saying? So these guys are groundbreakers. You know what I'm saying? I don't even, like, all these interviews that's not on the HD camera, take it off. Because these guys are so 2030, every interview got to be HD. Everything got to be just next level. You know what I'm saying? Like they need pop looks. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got a sense of humor. They got swag. They got, you know what I'm saying? They got everything. They need to be on ESPN doing interviews. They need to be here because they're fun. You know what I'm saying? And that was a whole thing. Like when we're like the whole team. Like the whole thing about Rae Sremmurd, it was just like, man, we're just gonna make everything fun. You know what I'm saying? Like just fun. Everybody wanna be the hardest, or everybody wanna look the meanest, or everybody wanna be the realest. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do some fun shit where everybody could just forget about that shit right quick and just have fun in this motherfucker and just feel good. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what I'm saying, the plan from the jump. So, you know what I'm saying, if they got a beat from A+, that's the approach they're doing. If they get a beat from me, if they get a beat from P Nasty, Mars, whoever from the camp, you know what I'm saying, that's just what it was. And what it was is like, we just used the resources at hand. This is like right when I signed my label deal. Mm-hmm. It's like you said, when things go zig, I go zag. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, after Miley Cyrus, it was like, okay, boom, I done produced all these songs. You know what I'm saying? With, you know what I'm saying, all these different, you know what I'm saying, artists or whatnot, Rihanna, 2 Chainz, you know what I'm saying, Gucci, boom. All right, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to Miley Cyrus. Okay, I just executive produced Miley Cyrus album, boom. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now I got my own label. You know what I'm saying? Now I got my own label. Okay, boom, I'm gonna sign my own artist, you know what I'm saying? And we got multiple different artists, but we're like, okay, which artist we gonna roll out first? Okay, boom, it's Rae Sremmurd. Now our whole team is just focused on it. You know what I'm saying? Just from the artwork to everything. Because when I first met Rae Sremmurd, the name was Sway. You know what I'm saying? It was Sway Lee, it was Jimmy Sway, and it was Bobo Sway. You know what I'm saying? But like, salute to Sway in the morning, but it's already a Sway. You know what I'm saying? So that name just didn't hit hard enough. So like, Rae Sremmurd was like a name that I came up with for like a rock band. I wanted to sign a rock band one time, and I just wanted it to be EarDrummers backwards, and it was Rae Sremmurd. And then I asked them like what they felt about it, and they were like, "Man, that shit hard. I was like, that shit, I was like, man, I just feel like that name matches y'all way more because y'all are like rock stars and y'all need like a name that like sticks out because y'all are gonna stick out like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, they were like, man, bro, man, we need to do that. Rae Sremmurd is hard. I was like, man, people not gonna know how to say it. People not gonna know how to read it. So, you know what I'm saying? Me and B Wright were on the phone and we were just talking. I was like, hey, bro, first artwork, we don't even need to put their faces on there. It goes back to that mystique. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the way I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes back to that mystique. So I'm like, don't put their faces on there. Just put Rae Sremmurd. And you know what I'm saying? Yellow background, red writing. It's loud as fuck. You're going to pick it up and just be like, what does it say? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just what it was. That was the original plan. And then more and more people want to know if it was one person, if it was two people,
Right.
if it was kids, if it was, you know what I'm saying, what was going on.
Yeah.
Then when they saw the No Flex Zone video, I was just like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was groundbreaking. And then from there, you know what I'm saying, it was just like no type. And then like, you know what I'm saying, they were hit makers. So it was all about the rollout plan.
Right, but you know, there was a lot of people who, you know, like Ebro, and people who didn't
Who is
want.
that?
He's some guy in New York, who, you know, didn't take, you know, them as seriously, even though they're number 3 on the Complex albums of the year.
Man,
you know,
but look, Ebro didn't take them serious from the jump. I brought Ebro No Flex on the same day I brought him By the World with the song By the World that I put out with Kendrick, Wayne, and Future. And I let him hear No Flex on. He was like, I mean, yeah, it's cool. I'm like, man, bro, this is a hit, bro. He was like, nah. I mean, it's cool. It's like it is a hit. It's like the Yayo song. It's like the song Yayo. You know what I'm saying? It's like the same kind of song as that. I'm like, I'm not trying to compare it to any song or, you know what I'm saying, not any song. I'm just saying that this song right here is a hit. He was like, I mean, it's cool. I'm like, man, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go back and forth with this guy. You know what I'm saying? But then later on, he's tried to say that they didn't write their own raps and all that different kind of stuff, but they do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sway Lee and Jimmy, that's all they do is work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's one thing you can't instill in somebody. You can't expect a 1 terabyte drive to do what a 4 terabyte drive does. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, a 4 terabyte drive is gonna be bigger than a 1 terabyte drive. You can't make a 1 terabyte drive do that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they already were 4 terabyte drives. They already had the drives to goddamn go hard. All they needed was the equipment and a little bit of money and a little bit of time, and all they're gonna do is record. And the proof is in the pudding. And like, even when they were with me, I was telling them, man, same thing that get you your first check is gonna get you every other check. You know what I'm saying? So like now, Rae Sremmurd is fucking massive right now. But when they get home, any free time they get at the hotel or whatever, they're recording. I don't have to tell them to do that because they're already 4 terabytes.
I get that feeling already. I get that feeling already from. Give it up for the 4 terabyte drives. I already got that feeling. I was recently watching the Tim Westwood freestyle they do, where they're just going in off the top of the dome, 20 minutes straight, and it's like what they're freestyling could be like 5 songs.
Man, they'll do it right now on FaceTime. 20 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's that 4 terabyte, bro. It's like, it's dead for real. Like, anytime, if I call Sway Lee right now, he gonna be like, man, I ain't doing shit at the crib, recording. I put on everything. If I call Jimmy right now, I'll be like, man, what you doing? Man, shit, man, I'm trying to get in the studio. Hey, bro, hey, what studio we can go to? We in Atlanta. What studio? Da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? It's nonstop. And then Sway Lee has a setup in his bedroom. So every morning he wakes up, that's all he does all day. You know what I'm saying? When he goes, and all the way till he tripping over shit and falling, you know what I'm saying? And then he like, oh shit, I gotta go to sleep. And then he'll go to sleep. And then it'll just be like, boom, you know what I'm saying? He'll go to sleep, then he'll wake up and be right back to recording. Or Jimmy, man, I'm at this studio. Shit, we got a flight at 6 in the morning. Man, I'm about to slide over there right quick. It's 1 a.m. Then you got a flight at 6 in the morning? Yeah, I'm just going to come over there right quick. Oh, this the beat? This the beat you want me to get on? All right, bet. Boom, rap on that beat. You got any more beats? boom. You know what I'm saying? That's just how they are, man. And I never told them, hey, y'all better stay in there. Y'all better rap and rap and rap and rap. You know what I'm saying? Like they just went hard. You know what I'm saying?
And I find that's very in line with like the classic like hip hop work level, you know, like being able to freestyle and like they check off all those boxes, but people assume they're not on that level just because they're Southern rappers. Still, in 2016, people still think that, you know, and I wonder why that is.
That's like cavemen. You know what I'm saying? Or that's like people that's still racist. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta let them be who they are and how they think. You know what I'm saying? Like certain people just think way in the past. They look at an iPhone and be like, oh shit, I don't even know what the fuck to do with this. You know what I'm saying? Like those like the same people that use flip phones. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we don't even pay those kind of people no attention. We more do it for the people that's more in tune or for the people that's forward thinkers or for the people that's more like 2020, 2030 that's trying to do shit forward. You know what I'm saying? Like people that's like, oh, they're from Tupelo, Mississippi, they can't rap. How you know? Only other person you know from Tupelo, Mississippi is Elvis. So shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't know any other rappers. So now that these guys are out, now you might need to pay attention. Like, oh shit, Tupelo, Mississippi got rappers. Or you're gonna look at it like, oh, they're from the South, they can't rap. That's retarded. You know what I'm saying? So it's like nah, that's just retarded. You know what I'm saying? A region ain't never really set on how somebody could rap because Outkast was from the South, and you know what I'm saying?
South got something to say.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And I want to play something that a lot of people would not expect, you know, or didn't expect at the time that Sway Lee could do. And it's a really very big track that you guys did together. I'm just going to play it for the people.
It was Rae Sremmurd. I think I know what you're about to play. It was both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say it's just Sway.
Yeah, because Sway came up with the hook line.
And it's big.
Yeah.
So that was Formation by Beyonce, as if I have to tell you that, but I do. Your sister's a drum major.
The Police Anthem.
Yes. They made it that. Your sister's a drum major. What does she think of that beat? Because it's got that.
Oh yeah, my sister. Yeah, she
got that vibe.
That. Yeah, she fuck with that. She fuck with it tough.
So tell me the story behind Formation.
Man, we were just on our way to Coachella, and I was just playing beats in the car on the aux, and then like Sway Lee and Jimmy. It was me, Sway Lee, Jimmy. Oh, you was in the car too, huh? It was the first year we went to Coachella? You went the first year we went to Coachella? Okay, he must have been asleep in the car, but you know what I'm saying? He was there. It was me, him, Shrim, and it was the first year we went to Coachella, and I was just playing beats in the car. And then Beyonce had already reached out to me to like send some music. And then I had sent a couple ideas, and I was just playing some beats. And then we just mess around and freestyle. Like I might even freestyle with them, just like throwing out different ideas. You know what I'm saying? That's the same way we came with like X Bitch on Shrimp first album, but we were just like freestyling, and then Sway Lee had said, okay, now let's get in formation. Okay, now let's get in formation. And I was like, man, what if you said, okay, ladies? He was like, okay, ladies. Now I'm like, man, that might be hard for Beyonce, bro. And he was like, man. And then I was like, man, record it in the voice note. And then he recorded
what
that
is
part.
voice note?
Like on your iPhone, you go to voice notes. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole motherfucking catalog in this motherfucker. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like voice notes is just like you just record some shit real quick, whatever's on your head. You know what I'm saying? But we had recorded that shit, and then when we got back to LA, you know what I'm saying? We had went to the studio, and that's when we went to the studio and we did Drinks on Us. And then I was like, yo, what about that idea we came with in the car, that formation? And one thing about Sway Lee, once he records a voice note, it's not guaranteed that he's gonna record it for real. He might be like, no, I was just fucking around. Ooh. And he might not do it. And I was like, man, bro, you gotta record that one voice note, that formation. I'm telling you, that shit might work for Beyonce. So he went in and he did like a whole nother freestyle to the beat, but he ended up laying that formation part. Then Jimmy just went in the booth, and Jimmy said, if you fuck me good, I'll take your ass to Margiela. You know what I'm saying? And he was just rapping and shit. And then like I just took that reference track and just sent it to Beyonce along with a couple other reference tracks. And I had ran into her one night and we were just chopping it up. And then she was like, yo, you know what? I really like the idea of formation that you sent. I was like, yo, that's dope, man. I was like, you know what I was thinking? I was like, man, when I was with Shrum, man, we were just talking about it. Like, that could be like a big song for like the females. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get information about the dudes that you messing with first, or like get in line. You know what I'm saying? Like, get information, or like, you know what I'm saying? It could be like a big woman empowerment song. And she was just like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then we just started chopping it up about different things. And then next thing you know, she takes it and makes it like a culture empowerment thing. You know what I'm saying? Like bigger than just females, just like a culture empowerment thing. And then they called us to New York to like finish like the production or whatnot. And then like I was just telling her like different harmonies that I was hearing that she could add, or like, you know what I'm saying, different my different inputs, you know what I'm saying, outputs or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that I felt like the record could do. And we were just going back and forth for like a week. And then she ended up like, and we finished that song last summer, and she was gonna put it out at Made in America. And then she was trying to debate, was she gonna shoot the movie, or did she just wanna, cause she loved the song so much, she was like, I just need to put it out before something happens, before it leaks, or like some just before it gets old to me or something. I just need to put it out. But she was like, man, I'm thinking about shooting this movie, da-da-da. So she ended up, you know what I'm saying, going with the movie idea. And then she held formation. I remember I hit up Jay, and I was just like, man, what's the word? No, Jay just randomly hit me on the email. We talked on email. He just randomly hit me. He was just like, man, I'm out here working for us on the check-in. Peace to the gods. So I didn't know what that meant. I was just like, man, salute. I said, salute, big dog. You know what I'm saying? And then I hit up my guy Big John, who connected me and Beyonce and me and Jay-Z. And I was like, man, what's the word on the formation song? Like, I hope she ain't catch cold feet on it, man. That song's still hard. He was like, no. She ain't catch cold feet, but everything's like top secret. Right. So next thing you know, Beyonce called me to like one of her rehearsals. And then I went over there. It was in L.A., and she was rehearsing for the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl was like next week. And then she was like, yo, we about to perform this at the Super Bowl next week. I'm like, shit. And then she was like, and then we're gonna shoot the video. No, she said we're gonna shoot the video next week, and then we're gonna perform it at the Super Bowl the week after that. And I was like, damn. And she was like, we're gonna put it out in between there. I'm like, so you're gonna shoot the video, put it out, and then perform at the Super Bowl? And then she was like, yeah. I was like, damn, how the hell is she gonna get the videos edited? You know what I'm saying? Because I can't get my guys to edit that quick. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I'm like, yo, how's she gonna get it edited? So she did it. She did exactly what she said, exact dates, and everything dropped, and it just broke. Everything just broke. She broke the internet. She broke the fucking cable. She broke everything. And then it was just like, man, like formation just went up. You know what I'm saying?
So can you tell me about?
But she wrote all her
when you watched the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I was at Jimmy Iovine's crib. You know what I'm saying? No, I was at DJ's crib, and Jimmy Iovine was over there, and like I was in the room with like, man, it was like I don't even remember the guys' names, man. But if I said their names, people would be like, oh yeah, that's the guy who does this. But it was all billionaires. You know what I'm saying? It was like 5 billionaires. Like they like bet. I don't know. They like bet millions on the game, damn near. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. I'm just in there. I never felt so, you know what I'm saying, so little, you know what I'm saying, or so. I never felt like I had so much hard work to do. Well, no, I felt like that my whole life, but just in that room, I was just like, damn. So I'm just watching it, and then Jimmy was like, hey, she's doing your song tonight, right? And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, okay. Then the song just played, and that shit just opened my eyes, man, and everything just played back. Tahoe, Gucci Mane studio days, you know what I'm saying, building my team. And then I did that song with my boy A+ from high school, you know what I'm saying? And it just felt good to, like, you know what I'm saying, do a song with him that made it to the Super Bowl. Like, the Super Bowl is like a milestone. Like, it's like when we were working on Miley's album, the crazy thing was, it was like an inside joke, you know what I'm saying? Like, one time Like we would always do a song, we'd be like, yo, this shit could play at the Super Bowl. This shit could play at the Super Bowl. Like every time me and Miley would do a song. So then like one time, me, her, and Future were in the studio, and then me and Future were like, "Yo, this song is big. Like this song is big." And then Miley was like lighting a bong, and then she was like, "Man, this shit the Super Bowl." And then, like she inhaled like a big ass rip of the bong, and like that was like an inside joke from then on. So like every time we would hear like a hard song, she'd be like Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Even if she don't have a bong. So then like all that shit's just playing in my head while I'm watching the fucking Beyonce performance. I'm just like, damn, Super Bowl. And she actually texted me, Miley had texted me and was like, Super Bowl with hella exclamation points with like smoke and shit. And then fucking and I was just like, everything just played back, and it was just like, damn, hard work pays off, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know what I'm saying, we still got a long way to go because hard work paid off on the production side. You know what I'm saying? I went from just making beats, teaching myself how to make beats, to making beats, to trying to make the hardest beat, to trying to get a beat to an artist, to trying to get, you know what I'm saying, that song that I did with the artist on a mixtape, to, you know what I'm saying, trying to get a song that I did with another artist on the album, you know what I'm saying, to then trying to make a hit record, you know what I'm saying, then understanding producing and trying to make sure my mixing and you know what I'm saying, mastering and everything was forward pushing and was edge pushing. Like me and my engineer, any big project we have, we fall out at the end every time. It never fails, you know what I'm saying, because like his name is Jason Joshua. He works in LA. He mixes for Justin Bieber. He mixes for the biggest people. You know what I'm saying? But every time I'm always like, no, turn the bass up. No, it got to come up some more. I'm telling you, God. And then he's looking at the frequencies and shit. He's like, bro, I can't do anything else. There's no more room. There'll be no more room for mastering. I don't give a fuck. I'm not looking at that. I'm hearing it, and I'm telling you, turn it up, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not right, you know what I'm saying? And me and him will go back and forth. He's like, okay, if you want it to sound like shit, I'm like, yo, if you're gonna make it sound like shit, I don't want you to mix it, you know what I'm saying? And we'll just go back and forth. It never fails until we get the song how we want it, and then it ends up sounding dope, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, so, like, you know what I'm saying? Just all the way from, like, all those steps to, like, teaching myself how to make beats and everything in between, and just producing and understanding, you know what I'm saying, different things about music, and then like boom, you know what I'm saying, Beyonce, like that was like a milestone. Like I always want to work with like Beyonce, like, or I always want to work with like Adele, like, you know what I'm saying, that's like the holy grail. That's like, yo, how the fuck, like, can I get in the studio with Beyonce or like Adele? So when they said Beyonce wanted to work, I'm like, yo, man, we got to make a hit, you know what I'm saying, like we got to make a hit, and that's what we did, and it was just dope to see it all, you know what I'm saying, play out. And you know what I'm saying, see her like go on the Super Bowl and actually like kill the performance with my favorite band, Coldplay. It was really like a dream, and I'm just in here with amongst like all these billionaires, you know what I'm saying? So it was really like a dream. I'm just like, man, somebody punch me, man, or like pinch me or something, you know what I'm saying? Because it didn't even seem real, but you know what I'm saying? It just showed like that hard work, you know what I'm saying, finally it's not finally paid off because everything, I'm like gracious for everything, but it just showed how far like we done came, and like, you know what I'm saying, still yet how far we got to go. Because one day I want to see Rae Sremmurd performing Black Beatles on the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying, like that'll be like crazy, you know what I'm saying, and it's crazy that you mentioned all those like, you know what I'm saying, like Rhapsody and like Beethoven and like things like that, because like even when I was going to Georgia State, that's one thing that we had to learn, like music theory, you know what I'm saying, and different stuff like that. We had to go all the way back to 1800 and different stuff like that. And like, and our teacher used to like play stuff and be like, we used to have to be like, yo, that's Bach, or yo, that's Beethoven, or yo, that's da. And I remember the first test we had, my teacher told us that was gonna be the style of the test. And I used to ask him, I had to ask him when the whole class left, like, yo, how do you really expect us to know? You know what I'm saying? Like, you really expect us to know, like, this is Bay? He was like, so when you listen to the radio, do you know it's Big Sean? Do you know what's Jay-Z? Do you know who's Gucci Mane? I'm like, yeah. He said, okay then, so go do your homework. And you know what I'm saying? When he said that, like, that shit just stuck with me. And then that's when I started like hearing like music like a little bit like kind of different. You know what I'm saying? And that subconsciously, that kind of helped me on the production side. You know what I'm saying? So knowledge is key, man.
From the Tahoe to the Super Bowl.
You dig.
I think that's
to
a good
Red
place.
Bull, to Canada.
Yeah.
For real.
I think that's a good place to stop. We're gonna open it up to Q&A. Give it up for Mike Will.
Appreciate that.
You were about to say something about Beyonce writing her own lyrics in from information, but you sort of stopped there. Can you continue?
Oh no, I ain't really stopped on purpose, but my bad. We were like in middle conversation,
Yeah.
but yeah, she wrote all her lyrics for the most part. She just like and the thing is, she's fair. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like it was a real collaborative effort between me plus Shrim and her. You know what I'm saying? So we just split everything. You know what I'm saying? Collectively, but she wrote both of her verses, and like she got inspired by what Jimmy said. If she fuck me good, I take her ass to Margiela. She said, if he fuck me good, I take his ass to Red Lobster. Boom. So, like, but from there, like, you know what I'm saying? It was really, the whole song was really more about her family. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was really more about her family, her heritage, and where she comes from. So, like, that's something that Sway Lee or anybody really couldn't write the way she wrote it. You know what I'm saying? Because she probably really totes hot sauce in her bag. You know what I'm saying? So, like, really, yeah, for the like, she wrote her verses. Sway Lee came with the okay, ladies, now let's get information, and you know what I'm saying. And then she added more stuff like those horns. You know what I'm saying, like the live effect. You know what I'm saying, to the beat. Like she wanted, that was like her request. Like she wanted that in the beat. Like, you know what I'm saying. So it was like a whole collaborative effort, and it was dope working with her because she knew exactly what she was looking for. And, you know what I'm saying, she knew exactly what she wanted as far as the production side. Even when I felt like it was done, she wanted to add this. She wanted to add this. And then when she thought it was done, I wanted to add that. And then we just kept adding until we couldn't add anymore. And then we just threw it out. Layers.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, bro?
I wanted to ask you, because I feel like when you're growing up and you're kind of put into the world, you see a lot of things in the music industry that you don't like, some that you do like, and when you start making music and producing and stuff, you try to put into the world more of the stuff that you like and try to like to compensate for the things that are not so good. So I wanted to ask you, like, how do you feel? What would you like to see people, like young people, like for example the people who go to the strip club and the teen club, like to learn from you and like what are the things that you feel that you have put into the world that you would like to see the younger people like get on? If I'm making myself clear.
Yeah, no, I totally get it because it's hard. Like as a producer, you don't really have a voice. You know what I'm saying? You really just, you know what I'm saying, really just create this canvas. And you know what I'm saying, once you collab with an artist, then that artist kind of paints on top of the canvas. So like when I was coming from Atlanta and the strip club and the teen club was like the only thing that could get us out of, like at this time, I had never traveled or worked with anybody outside of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So Atlanta, we have a highway named 285 and it's a circle. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have not made it out of 285. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You can ride on 285 for 20 hours and you're not going to leave Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have not got out of this circle. You know what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, we're talking about, I'm 27 now. So, like, when we're talking about when I was, like, 18, 19, 20, like, my view on things and my view on the world was much different. You know what I'm saying? It was just all about what's beating in this Tahoe and what can go in this teen club and what can go in the strip clubs. Now, I don't go to the club, for real. I barely go to the club. I might go to the club every now and then on some social type thing, you know what I'm saying? But like now, like I never knew about festivals and different things like that back then, or like I never knew like, dang. Or even if I was to drop an instrumental album, it wouldn't even meant anything because, you know what I'm saying? Like it would have meant something to me because it was like my creativity. But you know what I'm saying? Like I was like actually coming from nothing. I was just going to school. I had student loans. You know what I'm saying? My mother was laid off. You know what I'm saying? My father was a working man, you know what I'm saying? And I was just trying to make it out of 285, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like what I want kids and, you know what I'm saying, like whoever's going to the teen clubs now or anybody who's coming up now, what I want them to get from me is, man, never give up on your dream and never let anybody tell you no. You know what I'm saying? Or what you can't do. You know what I'm saying? I always show people what you can do. Because every time somebody told me what I couldn't do, I did the opposite. You know what I'm saying? And as long, like I always try to do the opposite in a positive direction, you know what I'm saying, to help me or anybody else around me, you know what I'm saying, move forward in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a record label right now, and everybody who's employed on my record label is like the same people who were starving with me that was just creating with me. You know what I'm saying? And we're trying to grow as we go. You know what I'm saying? So like what I always wanted, you know what I'm saying, from anybody to get from my story, or you know what I'm saying, and I feel like my story is just very well just starting. You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of those younger years were like I had a certain kind of vision, but I always tell people, man, I was unconscious, man. I wasn't even really awake. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just young, just making music. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm becoming more older, more conscious, more aware on what's going on and different things like that. So it's more like, okay, yeah, you do gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Because people look at you like in a light and they respect, you know what I'm saying, the music, they respect the beats, they respect whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, and they respect the grind, and they respect longevity, and they respect consistency. So what I always want is like, man, go hard, never get comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Don't just put out one hot song and just be like, yo, I'm the shit. And then next year be like, yo, you remember I did that song Formation last year, man? You remember that song Formation? You know what I'm saying? Like I did that last year. I don't want to be talking about Formation. I do still want Formation to be playing, and I still do want Formation to be, you know what I'm saying, relevant and everything in 2020. But I don't want to be like, yo, you remember? I was the one, you know what I'm saying, who did, you know what I'm saying, format. Like, I never wanted to be that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always wanted the next year to be bigger than, you know what I'm saying, the last year, you know what I'm saying? So, like, right now, what I'm working on right now, I'm not landing in Canada and be like, hey, turn on the radio, let me see if they playing Formation, or let me see if they playing Rihanna, Nothing's Promised, or I never wanted to hear that on the radio or anything like that. I just work on the production and just keep working on the production aspect, like the sonics, and you know what I'm saying, like, and how the sound, and like, and just keep creating different sounds, you know what I'm saying, and just focus on that, and I'm really focusing on that for next year, you know what I'm saying, like songs that might drop next year, you know what I'm saying, like, or they might end up dropping this year, like Black Beatles was so last minute. That was the last song we did for Shroom Life 2, like. I actually had just bought a new laptop. That was the first beat I made on it. But the beat was just an idea, and I gave it to Sway Lee, and I was like, I'm really stuck where I want to go on the beat. I don't really know what else I want to add. He was like, nah, this shit hard. And then he sent me back the Black Beatles hook, and I was over Gucci's house when he sent it to me. And then when I was with Gucci, I played Black Beatles hook for Gucci. Gucci said, yo, this shit is hard. He hopped on it. And then I told Jimmy, I'm like, bro, you should hop on this song, man. I think this shit could be hard for Shroom Life too. And he was like, all right. You know what I'm saying? It took him a couple of weeks. He hopped on it. Then we put the song together. And then we put it on the album. And it was the last song that we added to the album. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it just happened like that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, really what I want from other people or young people that's coming up, to go back to your question, to look at is just like, man, work hard, man, grind hard. Don't make no excuses for anything. You know what I'm saying? Use your resources at hand, because that's what I always did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't always have access to, you know what I'm saying, or MPC. I had the Korg ES-1. You know what I'm saying? So I used that. Then I bought me a multi-track recorder. Then I bought an MPC. Then I bought a Triton. Then I bought, just by working a job, you know what I'm saying? Or either I started off selling beats for $100 when I was working at Kroger. You know what I'm saying? Whoever would buy beats for $100, you know what I'm saying? And I was just trying to get more and more money to get more music equipment so I could just make music and, you know what I'm saying, get into the industry. I didn't even understand that, it was the music industry, the music business, and the music back then. You know what I'm saying? I just thought, like I said, I thought you just make a hard beat, and hopefully one day it just skyrockets and it just fucking takes off, and then you know what I'm saying? But once you start moving around, you start looking at it like the music industry is like high school. So it's like a big ass high school. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, you know what I'm saying? The music business is just business. It's numbers. You know what I'm saying? And it's like whatever deal you have with whoever, like if Red Bull cuts a deal with somebody, with another corporation, you know what I'm saying? It's like that, you know what I'm saying? And then the music is like the creativity part, you know what I'm saying? And if you can't make, you know what I'm saying, I don't care if a song's whack to me, you can't make me like it. I can hear it a million times. If it's whack, it's whack, you know what I'm saying? But if it's a dope song and it connects with me, then it just connects with me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you put like different songs out there and they just connect, like Black Beatles, we put out Rae Sremmurd's album and it just connected with everybody. That's when we're like, okay, we need to push this song as a single. You know what I'm saying? Because to hear him put Black Beatles on such a high level, man, that's like super dope to me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I love this song so much, but I want to hear it from somebody else and hear how the next person feels about the song or how they connect with the song. But yeah, man, it was a lot of things skipped in my story. I said a lot today, but it was a lot of things. It was a lot of hardships. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of people trying to sign me as a producer or trying to keep me out because I wasn't signed, or trying to keep me out because I might have been too smart on, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really that smart, but I was like smart on the business side where I knew what I wanted. Like I knew exactly what I wanted and I knew exactly, you know what I'm saying, my goals or whatnot. And sometimes that's intimidating coming out of a 20-year-old's mouth like, yo, the fuck is this kid? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, man, basically I just want everybody to grind hard, don't make excuses. The reason why I didn't have a manager too is like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want I didn't want somebody to be like, yeah, this my little guy, man. He just made a couple beats for this person, that person, this person. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, cool. I could be that, but what, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to be my manager. You're supposed to be managing my business. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're broke right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you know what I'm saying? Like, help us, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, grow our business or, like, get our business in order or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even get me to see bigger and better things, like, you know what I'm saying? So then I even think bigger. Because if you think big, you get big. You know what I'm saying? If you think small, you get small. So when it's like to the point where I'm just in Atlanta and I'm just thinking a certain way, you know what I'm saying? I didn't start thinking bigger until I started seeing more and more different things and start understanding different things. I don't know, I could go all day, man, but just go hard. Go hard or stay home.
Maybe one more?
Hi, how are you?
What's up? What's up?
You
We
mentioned
could do more than one more. It's like the aux chord right here.
you mentioned about wanting to work with Adele.
Yeah. She got to connect.
No. Like
I thought you
that
were about to
that would be a
plug me
great
in.
thing.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
damn.
No, you mentioned like wanting to work with Adele. So have you ever considered like incorporating live bands into your future works, or are you currently doing it now? Perhaps?
Yeah, definitely like that song with McConan. That was just one song off of there. But there's a lot. There's like a couple more songs that's like that. I got a song with Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, I got a whole album. I got 3 albums right now on my phone right now. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the first album I'm gonna put out is Ransom 2, and Ransom stands for releasing all new songs orchestrated by Mike Will Made It, and like that's like it's like all like turned up. You know what I'm saying? Turned up music like from Atlanta, like Atlanta driven. People call it trap now. You know what I'm saying? That's whatever name they put on it. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? The hard driven, like turned up music. That's one album, and then the next album is called right now it's called Backwoods and Apple Juice. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like I come from Marietta, you know what I'm saying? So that's like the backwoods, you know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, if you know what I'm saying, if people are into the cannabis community, you know what I'm saying, like they might roll their cannabis in the backwoods, you know what I'm saying? And when we were working on a lot of these different songs, that's what we were using to roll our cannabis, you know what I'm saying, in LA. And we always had apple juice all through the studio, you know what I'm saying? And one time we went to the store and they didn't have no more backwoods and apple juice. And I was like, yo, I'm about to make this album called Backwoods and Apple Juice, you know what I'm saying? And then like, so it's like a double entendre. It's like backwoods is like, okay, I'm from Marietta, from the backwoods, and like in Atlanta we call juice. Like juice is like the power, like juice, like you know what I'm saying, like it's like basically showing like the juice of production, like to be able to have all these different like tight artists, you know what I'm saying, like on, you know what I'm saying, like on one album, like a collaborative album, because I feel like Apple Music, like if you go to Apple Music right now, well, anybody, when they listen to music, nobody, I don't really think people, well, not nobody, but I don't really think people listen to albums how they used to. They don't listen to the whole album through. They might just have this song from this person, that song from this person, that song, and like their favorite playlist. So I feel like me as a producer, my album has to be like the best playlist. You know what I'm saying? So like Backwoods and Apple Juice is like more like conscious rap and like live instrumentation and like totally different production than Ransom 2. You know what I'm saying? Ransom 2 is like beat machines, Fruity Loops, you know what I'm saying? And Backwoods and Apple Juice is live instrumentation mixed with beats or mixed with live drums or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely I want to start doing that more for sure.
Okay, just hello. Oh, okay. One more. You mentioned like your sister is a drum major. Have you ever considered like bringing her into your works as well, or have you done it?
Yeah, she's in my works, but not on the music side. She's strictly business.
Oh.
She was a drum major, but she was like also like super smart. Like I was like really like my college teacher for every class. So every time I leave class and be like, I don't know what they were talking about, but I got a test next week and it's over these chapters. She'll be the one to break down all those chapters to me. So she like super smart. So she's incorporated with me on the business side. Like she just watches over my financials and like, you know what I'm saying, handles like basically like general managing over, you know what I'm saying, like my company or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, like the same people who were starving with me are the same people who's like working with me now.
Is she like, doesn't she like, would you like her to be in you know, having another role in your works, like instead of the music, the business side, like just, you know, have her drumming in your track?
She was a drum major in the '96 Olympics, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that really still sparks her interest, you know what I'm saying? Like, but maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like she has 2 kids now. It's like she's a project manager for IBM and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, I don't know if that really like sparks her interest, you know what I'm saying, what we're doing, but she's still a fan of the music. She still tells me like what she thinks is hot and what she thinks is, you know what I'm saying? Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Well, I'd like to thank Mike Will Made It for coming in.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
RBMA out. Yeah.